Hello, everyone. Please excuse my bonnet here. I just kind of woke up and I got a chance to calm down from yesterday's debacle. Also, I do have ADHD, so I will try to not bore you with the multiple details that I have to feel the need to include, but also give you enough details so that you can get the context of why I am so upset. So, catch you up to date. I've been feeling a lump in my right armpit for about 6 months ish, 6 to 8 months ish now, 8 months now. And before, like, it was just uncomfortable, annoying, a little bit of itchy sometimes. It later on became very noticeable, and just like I noticed that my sweat production, sorry, TMI, was a lot more than normal. And it just, things just didn't, I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel right. But I'm a mom of three. And like I said, I have ADHD and possible autisms that I need to get screened for. And so I just like act like nothing's wrong, right? I just, or it's not like I don't act like something's wrong. I just don't know where to get started. And I'm very much neglected in the medical field. No matter what I talk about or feel like something is important to me in the state of Colorado, I just don't feel heard or seen, period, me or my kids. But so I finally make an appointment with my regular doctor to tell her about this. And so she also, like, I don't really agree with how she treats me either, because like she didn't even look at it herself like really that much. She just was like, oh, it's right here, or like lift your arm, oh, it's right there. um and I'm like, yeah. And she's just like, okay, well, I'll schedule you for a ultrasound. So she sends me to this place. I go to this place, and the place sets me up. They register me, get me signed in, and then they're like, oops, actually you need to go to a breast like specialist place. So like, I'm not upset. Like, I totally get it. What they were saying made sense, since the area, which like I said was under my right armpit, is technically like breast area, breast tissue. They have to take me to, or have me go to, a breast specialist. It makes sense. So I went home and I right away got on top of calling the breast specialist place, and they weren't able to take my call at the moment. They were busy. So then they called me, like, I think a couple days after that. It was like within 24 hours they had called me back. And they're like, we need to get you scheduled. And I'm like, great. The process was easy, no issue. Now, fast forward to it getting closer to my breast exam, my mammogram. I go to my regular doctor, and my regular doctor is like, why do they have you getting a mammogram done? And I'm like, because you ordered it, right? No, I didn't order that. I ordered an ultrasound. Well, yeah, they had me go to an office and everything. Y'all had me go to an office, and the office said that they have to send me to a breast specialist and all this other stuff. She straight up proceeded to argue with me and was like, well, I just don't know why they would do that, because that's not even what I ordered. So we'll see. Maybe you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, they said they was going to squish my boob. That's a mammogram, right? That's literally what I said to her. Like, cause now I'm pissed because you're trying to condescend me, and I'm trying to explain to you I know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, whatever. Let me hurry up and get this doctor's visit done. And I went home. Now anticipating, do I really need this mammogram done? Like, why is she telling me that? Like, she's the doctor who ordered it to be done. So then, like a week before my appointment, I am on the phone with IRS because there's some BS going on with something else. And I'm just trying to talk. I'm on the phone with them, talking to them. And then I get a like phone call on the other line. So when I switched over to the other line, it happened to be the breast imaging place. And I was excited to talk to them, but I knew I didn't have a lot of time because I'm on the phone with the IRS. This is how the phone call went with that doctor's office. The lady named Maria, that's her name, Maria, she started off on one asking me, do I know why I got the test ordered? And I said, yes, I'm ordered to have an appointment with you guys to get my underarm scanned or whatnot. Well, this is her. Well, excuse me, because no, I don't know why you're really young and you have to have a reason to come in. You can't just come, you can't just schedule an appointment the age that you are to come in here on your own. You need an order. Ma'am, I have an order. My doctor is the one who ordered it. Then she proceeded to ask me if the doctor examined me to even have it ordered. And I'm like, yeah, she looked at my underarm or like didn't really touch it, but she said that since that's going on, she wanted me to get an ultrasound. And the ultrasound place said that they wanted me to not go to them, to go to the breast imaging place. So here we are, here I am. And she just was so rude the entire time, being persistent with telling me that I'm really young and that I need to have an order. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what, at this point I really gotta go. Like, I'm on the other line. I don't have time to talk to you. I will call you back as soon as I can. And she just proceeded to be very nasty with me. And I don't remember all of the conversation at this very moment because I'm so pissed off with her, period. But I still let it go. I still let it go. I was like, this is the place I'm getting my imaging done. Like, I'm cool. So then I call my doctor, my regular doctor back. Like, listen, I don't know why this is taking like after I got off the phone with Iris, I'm like, I don't know why this is taking, like, why am I fighting so hard to get seen? Like, the woman that I was just on the phone with at the imaging place sounded like I was way too young and that I was just like making it all up, and like I had some kind of syndrome in my head where I'm just making, like, I just want to get examined for nothing, or I'm just self-diagnosing. No, you're the one who made the order. And they're like, oh, okay, let me call and see what's going on, or let me ask the doctor and put the orders through. And that's what they did. So then I called the imaging place back, like, hey, I was just wondering if the issue that y'all had earlier was resolved. And they're like, what issue? And I'm like, the issue of y'all telling me I'm too young to come in and be seen, and also the fact that I'm probably just making it up, like I'm just calling you to just for kicks and giggles to get seen. When really the truth is the doctor heard what had happened to me and what was going on with me, and that's why they ordered this. So there was no apology for her like coworker's behavior, because I did state how that I didn't feel like I didn't feel right how she was talking to me, because that was very unneeded how she was talking. And so, but I was just like, whatever. And she also said my appointment was today. I know my appointment is not today. My appointment is the 19th. And she's like, oh yeah, no, she's wrong. You're right, blah blah blah. So boom, I took an Uber to my appointment on the 19th, and it was smooth, right? I go there, I got registered, and then I went to the back to change, and everybody was nice, and then some lady had to come in and ask me questions. Now, her questions were, like, do you have a history of, does your mom have a history of your dad or anything like that, of anything that she was asking. But she also kept mentioning how I was super young and how I'm her daughter's age and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't ask to be here. So I'm here because I'm supposed to be here for whatever reason. I'm supposed to be examined. And I do have kids. And she's like, oh, really? How many? We're just talking now. And so I end up going to the back to get my mammogram. And it was like, how I watched on the YouTube videos where they lift your boob and they put it on a platform and they, squish it and you turn a certain way and, you get it done. It's whatever. Guys, please stay tuned for part two. Stay tuned for part two. Stay tuned for part two. Okay, so part two to my mammogram rant. So, like I was saying, the mammogram process was normal, you know. They had me stand at a machine, grab it, and the lady was very nice. The same lady who asked me questions. She was very nice, very helpful. And then once she was done taking those pictures, she had me sit in the waiting room. So that's what I did. I sat in the waiting room to be told to come back and get my ultrasound done because I was done the mammogram part. Or at least I thought I was. Because she came back in and was like, we actually need some additional pictures. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So that's what she did. She took me back into the mammogram machine area, and I took more pictures, and they did that of my breast, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, they're being cautious. And then they're like, okay, let me take you back to the waiting room, and I'm like, all right. And they're like, yeah, trying to reassure me that it's normal for them to take a bunch of pictures when it's your first time, and I'm just like, okay. So then they took me to the back to get my ultrasound done, and I'm not gonna lie, like a little bit before that and then right into that, I started feeling dizzy, very woozy, just not okay. Like I felt super tired and drugged. Like, and I know no one drugged me, I know no one did that, but that's how I felt. So now I'm laying on this table in this ultrasound room, and this lady's talking to me, and as she's talking to me and examining my armpit, it was an ultrasound tech. I'm just talking to her, and I'm just like feeling my eyes get really heavy, and I just felt so ill. But she got it done. She examined she examined my armpit, and then she's like, okay, turn over so I can get your other breast too. And I'm like, okay. So after she examined all that, she's like, okay, let me take this to the doctor, these pictures, and then we're going to come right back in. I'm like, okay. Now, I still felt dizzy and woozy after that. So I completely like passed out. And I just kept dodging in and out of consciousness, wondering why I was so tired. But I still didn't think anything of it. I'm just like, whatever, like maybe I'm just getting like tired or whatever. So the doctor comes in and she introduces herself with the ultrasound tech, and she's like, hi, I'm Dr. Chen, and I'm gonna re-examine you, and we're gonna go from there. And I'm like, okay. So she did that, and then she's like, so I just want to let you know that we can't find any lump, which is odd. So what we're gonna do is do a biopsy. And I'm like, okay, like a biopsy. I don't know what that means. Like, I know what it means, but what is the process? So she like tried to reassure me and told me like, oh, I got one done too. This is like how it is. It's not that bad. It's just the lidocaine needle that hurts the worst. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But they were really nice about the whole thing, like very calming and reassuring about it all. But then after she was done examining my armpit and then telling me about the biopsy and then scheduling it and all that, she goes over to my left breast. Still, no one has explained to me why anyone is touching my left breast because I'm in here for my right armpit. But I just like let the people do their job, and I'm just like, do what you got to do. They're just being cautious. And so then she was done, and she's like, okay, yep, we just want to make sure we get that biopsy done at another time for you. We scheduled that. We'll get all that information for you. And it was nice meeting you. Have a great day. And I'm like, okay, you have a great day too. So we about to wrap up. Ladies, like the text like, okay, you can get dressed now. You're good to go. I'm like, awesome, awesome, awesome. As I'm about to leave, the doctor pokes her head in and goes, oh, and by the way, you have a lump in your left breast. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you when you come back. Oh, it's not, it's benign. It's benign, by the way, also. It's benign. So you don't have to worry. We're just going to keep an eye on it. So you're going to have to keep getting mammograms, that's all. That's all. Why didn't you tell me that? I have questions now. And you dipping on me? No, ma'am. So I'm like, oh my God, I want to cry. Like, I am now in shambles and want to cry. So I got my information from them. I called my Lyft, and then I was crying in the freaking hospital waiting room because it's in a hospital. So I was in the hospital waiting room crying tears. This older lady is looking at me like, do I talk to her and help her? Do I not? I had to hold back tears in the lift. The guy's trying to talk to me and be nice, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk. Like, leave me alone. And then I get home and I run right upstairs and I just cry. I just cry because what the. So all the thoughts of like, great, I had a horrible childhood, I had a horrible teenagehood, I had horrible adulthood, and was abused all of those years, and then I'm in my 30s and now I'm sick. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What is that? But then I was like super reassured and calmed down and became more confident because I had so many friends on my platforms reach out to me and tell me like, hey, I've been through this too, you got this. Like, don't think negatively, think positively. And my man too, like everybody helped me feel so well and good about this. So on the day of my biopsy, I'm supposed to be there at 2:50. Mind you, I did a lift last time to this place. So when it was time for my hubby to drive me there, we were lost because Google was taking us all over the place. So that being said, I'm supposed to be there at 2:50 just to do paperwork because my appointment starts at 3 p.m. The lady from the front desk calls me at 2:56, and yes, I do have receipts and timestamps for this. At 2:56, she called me and was like, "Hey, this is the imaging place. We were just calling because," and I'm like, I interrupted her like, "Oh my gosh, I'm running late. I'm in the parking lot. I'm coming. Here I come." And she's like, "Okay, well, we'll just see you soon. But we just wanted to make sure that you're ready for your biopsy and your second breast like scan or some other thing." And I'm like, why do y'all keep adding things to my thing? Because when I called, take it back, I called the day before to ask a question, and they had two procedures instead of one on my case. And the lady's like, wait, no, that can't be right. It has to be this. So now I'm on my appointment day, I'm here or whatever, and y'all are telling me there's another procedure. There's two procedures, not one. I prepared mentally for one procedure. Y'all need to get it together. What is happening? So come to find out, it's 2:56, and I realize I'm in the wrong parking lot. So we hopped right back in the car and hurried up and rushed back to the place that I knew was the correct place, because like I'm like, wait a minute, it has to be this place. It has to be this place. But I was wrong. It wasn't that place. So, but somehow, some way, and like I said, I have receipts and timeline, Google timeline, y'all. If somebody ever say you lying about what time you was there, Google timeline says that I reached their office at 3 after 2. It was 3:02. Sorry, 3:02. It was 3:02 p.m. Okay, 3 minutes past my appointment time, and these chicks said I had to reschedule. They said the doctor's already in another procedure with another client right now. And then they had paperwork for me to sign, but didn't want to give it to me after the one lady was like, nah, let's wait till the day she comes in. Then that doesn't even cover the dirty looks and the like, because I was dressed like this, literally like this. I don't care. I'm going to get a breast. I don't care how anybody feels about me because of how I'm dressed. But that was literally it. They told me to reschedule. The lady was being condescending and like, oh, do you think Monday's going to work for you? I'm like, yeah, I think it should. And she's like, you think or you know? Bye. And now I'm not getting my fucking biopsy done there. I'm not getting it done there. Y'all already have a disdain and a bad taste in your mouth about me because they're a coworker I exposed. And y'all just can't get it together, and y'all see I'm smart and know that y'all are adding things and then backtracking. And my man even said that he caught them backtracking. I have a witness, so it's not just me. So that's why I'm done with dealing with any kind of healthcare in the state of Colorado unless they are used to working with people of color. So like part three, it'll be quick. They rescheduled me for this Monday, and I'm just not. I really am not. I'm not going back to them specifically. Um, and that's it's just that. Um, my plan is to find a doctor that is actually going to take me seriously, because my biggest flaw that I've done in my life is let doctors here in Colorado remove my middle daughter's gallbladder when it didn't have to be removed at all. She's 9 years old, and they decided they needed to remove her gallbladder. And later down the line, I have all types of people and doctors and specialists telling me I should have never let that happen. So then why did it happen in the first place? Because if I don't work in the medical field and I don't have an advocate, how can I say no when I say no and they're like, yeah, but it needs to get done because she's gonna die or this or that. So now I am definitely changing my life around as far as eating perfectly. Me and my kids, we are definitely going to be living on the good side of paying attention to ourselves and our health. Like I said, I met some really amazing people who have like given me ideas on how to medically treat myself. Um, until I can find a doctor that is gonna take me seriously, because at the moment that's not happening. When I was on the East Coast, I had a doctor who held my hand, and this was a Caucasian woman. That's why I say the culture is completely different out here in the Midwest. Because I had a Caucasian woman on the East Coast who was my doctor, and this woman talked to me. She would hug me, she would hold my hand through any like needle or anything. I felt so protected and so wanted as a patient, not a number. And then as soon as I moved to the Midwest, it was, how can I poke you? How can I test on you? How can I test on your kids? This place is weird. So so we're just gonna like flip the script, and I'm gonna be working so much more hard on my content, because I have to, because me and my middle child specifically have health issues going on right now, and we're not being heard or seen, for obvious reasons. And I don't care if anyone doesn't agree with that. I don't care if no one agrees that it's because that we're black, because yes, it is. Because there is such a cultural difference out here that cannot be ignored anymore. And that's why I've been looking for pro bono lawyers. So if you guys have any information on that, please let me know, because I am done playing games. Like I said, I may be autistic, and I know I have ADHD, and it's not fair that people get to people like us get to get abused in multiple different ways, whether it's by a person, physically, emotionally, mentally, or in a system. And that's not like it doesn't happen to others, but I'm done. I'm done being a disabled black woman in this country, because for the longest I tried to act like I wasn't disabled and masked the hell out of whatever's going on with me. And I'm done. I have burnout. I can't do it no more, because people can't even take care of me mentally or medically like I need them to. So that being said, I love you guys. Stay tuned for bomb content, because your girl has to blow up. I have to get a name and make a name for myself, so that me and my kids can be taken care of, and that people don't see my Medicaid card or my face card, and and see that, and try to treat us a certain way because of those two things. So I appreciate y'all so much. I love you. Have a wonderful day, okay? And thank you for hearing me ramble.